is going on, everyone? Anthony Drew Gary here, host of the How To Show. And tonight, my children are in bed, so I've got the office back. Happy to be here. This week, we're going to spend some time talking about how to potentially be done saving for retirement in your 30s. Crazy concept, but people are doing it. Normal people are doing it. And I saw a post on LinkedIn recently that caught my eye. It was captivating. A gentleman by the name of Omkar, who I want to introduce to you tonight, is on the show this week talking with me about how to set yourself up for retirement in your 20s and your early 30s so that you don't have to think about it after that. And so without further ado, we're going to bring on Omkar now. Omkar, welcome to the How To Show, sir. How you doing tonight?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic, my man. And thank you for joining me to talk a little bit about how to finish saving for your retirement in your 30s. You made a post to LinkedIn that I saw recently. We got connected because LinkedIn is a great incubator of folks exchanging thoughts. And it's a really cool place to be. If you're not active on LinkedIn, I would recommend that you get in touch with your LinkedIn page and probably spend more time there than you might on your other social media platforms, because there's good stuff being shared there, up to and including Omkar's post, which I'm going to share now that we can talk about here. And so to read it out real quick, I'm 24 years old, and this is him speaking, not me, and I'll finish saving for retirement by 35. And he outlines a two-step plan to achieve that. And one is to make investing non-negotiable. And I want you to fill in some of the blanks here for me, Omkar. Talk to me a little bit about your strategy going on here.
Yeah, so I just basically outlined a few key things that I've seen a lot of people of my age that they currently do, and something that I don't really do. And said I take those same things that my friends and people my age they spend money on, and I try to put it aggressively towards my future, towards investing.
Yeah, and I think it's a good way to frame overall life is that you're setting yourself up for a scenario where you're taking care of your necessities that are important to you. And so it's not to say I would imagine you're not eating rice and beans or ramen noodles every single night, right? You're not right. Depriving yourself. I would imagine you're still having fun. You're dressed very nice. You've got your priorities in line, and I think that's the main takeaway here. Is that for people to think about, what are your priorities in life? And the great example to this is door dashing meals every day. In my neighborhood, I don't think he'll ever watch the videos, but there's a guy that's just down the street from me that gets DoorDash every single night. And my wife and I kind of joke, oh, the DoorDasher's here. And so it's just a really expensive habit in terms of being able to eat. And, maybe he values that. That's what he wants to value. But you've set yourself up in a situation where you found out what you value. And part of what you value, above and beyond maybe some extra material things, is that you value your time in a sense that you are, I believe, working toward a situation where work can be optional for you.
That's correct. Yeah, I eventually want to leave a work optional lifestyle.
Yeah, and so I think it's fun to have these conversations that if we practically lay this out, you've got the benefit of compounding behind you, getting money into different investments, getting things to grow, starting in your 20s to the point where you could potentially stop contributing to all of these different routes. And we'll talk about these different routes in a minute. By the time you're in your roughly mid 30s, and by the time you're in your retirement phase of life, you're going to be okay, even if you stop contributing to all of those things when you're 35. Is that how you've basically laid this out and run the quick math on it?
Yeah, that's correct. So I want to make sure that, retirement is the biggest expense that's going to be there for me and my family, especially when I'm 55, 60, or 65. And if I can help compound interest get me there while doing, 10 years worth of work, I'd rather have to do that than do 40 years worth of work to get to where I want to be.
Yeah, and as somebody who is 34 myself, it's an admirable position to be in, and it's a position where you really can start to, when you get into your 30s, I can speak a little bit to this, direct your funds toward other things because you know you've got that nest egg nailed down, and over time it's going to get you to where you need to be. And so if we go a little further down on the screen, we've got the 4 arrows, I'll call them, of the different things that you're doing. Can we walk through each one of those and talk about how they may be unique to you, but if they're not unique to you, how they might be transferable to somebody else? And so the first one here, you're talking about a solo 401k. There's an aspect of self-employment to that for everybody following along. But if you work a W-2 job, this is the equivalent of you contributing to your 401k at your workplace. So talk to me a little bit about that, Omkar.
Yeah, so the reason why I contribute to a 401k is because it's a pre-tax bucket. It's something that helps me lower my taxable income on a yearly basis, and then I can choose to take out money. There are required minimum distributions at 872. However, going through retirement, I can always optimize my taxes and use this bucket towards that. So that's one aspect of the solo 401k.
This is exactly where we're headed. As long as you can have different buckets set up to pull from at different times. I did a video talking about how to essentially live on $125,000 it was and pay no income taxes because of the different buckets you can pull from. And you're setting these things up exactly the same way that video was set up, and having a 401k bucket, having a Roth IRA bucket, having a brokerage account bucket. I'll link to that video and you can check that out. It's a 60-second short dive into all 3 of those buckets. But we're also talking health savings account, and I'm assuming that you're doing that to the maximum efficiency for the triple benefit there.
Absolutely.
Very good, very good. And the one that stuck out to me in terms of, I look at this list and like, yes, I'm with this guy. I'm totally with you. Talk to me a little bit about your life insurance strategy, because that one might look different to different people. And I think that where I might want to start with that, you reference you're 24 years old. Do you have children?
I do not know.
Okay, and so you are talking about a life insurance situation that's probably looking a little bit different than maybe it would for other folks. Talk to me about it.
Absolutely. So there are 2 types of insurance. There's term insurance, that is what most of the people currently have, and then there's permanent insurance. And life insurance mostly gets a bad rep just because of a lot of insurance agents looking to sell permanent life insurance where they get a huge commission, and it may not necessarily be a good fit for the client. So for me personally, why I have permanent life insurance is because right now I don't have any liabilities, but I also want to have a supplemental retirement income eventually when I'm 50, 55, or 60, in the case I may want to, retire early or use that towards buying other assets or any medical expenses or college funding. I think it's a great way to supplement your retirement, but not necessarily to replace your retirement.
Got it. Yeah, I just wanted to draw a little bit of delineation there between an insurance plan of attack, something like that, versus, the scenario where I am, where I have 2 children, I have a term policy, and if the proverbial bus ran me over, they'd be okay. Sort of a different situation there. I just wanted to draw some attention to that. And so the remainder of the post, hit some high and some hard facts here. No matter how old you are today, you'll never get the time back that you have right now and to leverage it. And it reminds me of the quote of the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And I think that retirement savings works a lot in the same way there, that you're setting yourself up for success. I wanted to have you on your show to highlight what you're doing, to make the story that you're telling less foreign to folks, because you are doing things that are not normal. And I say that with the most positive spin on it possible. But hopefully we can help to normalize these things, because if you're taking care of yourself, you can have the ability to take care of others along the way later on.
Correct. Yeah. And that's my whole plan.
Yeah. So I connected with you primarily on LinkedIn, Omkar. Would it be okay if I share your LinkedIn data in the show notes if other people want to connect with you there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Outstanding, sir. Well, I appreciate you joining me on this episode of the How To Show. And you never know, there might be another version of this that comes out where we talk about something else interesting.
Sounds good. It was great to be here.
That's going to bring this episode of the show to a close. Hopefully it was beneficial to you. And if you want to get in touch with Omkar, his information to get in touch with him in LinkedIn is in the show notes. Just copy and paste that over, or you can search for him by searching through me. Either one is good. Hopefully this was beneficial to you. If you got any feedback or any comments, any topics you want me to cover on future episodes of the show, leave me a comment down below. I respond to each and every one of those.
And as always, if you are looking to transact real estate in the Indianapolis market, you can get in touch with me either in the comments or at indydwell.com. Until next time, this is Anthony Drew Gary, host of The How To Show, signing off.